Hello, hello. I'm back. Now I got that nervous flush on me. It's been 2 weeks since I did live, but I'm back. I'm making tea real quick, and all I wanted to talk about was like about 2 or 3 days ago. Like I saw that the gossip, not the gossip, the was it the gospel by Andre, who's Andre Leon Talley. He had a documentary, and in my Amazon wish list, I had one of his books on here. So I was like, okay, let me watch it. And honestly, if I could review this, I give a 4.5 out of 5. So 4.5 stars out of 5. It was really good. I remember Andre from America's Next Top Model, like when I was younger, because I was so obsessed with that show. Like I wanted to be on that show, but I was like 7 or something when that came out. 6 or 7. It was a long time ago. But I remember him being on that show, and I was just like, like everybody on that show had like the it factor, but I like the way he judged people, like him and Miss J, and was it Manuel? But I really love Tyra. Tyra was my favorite. I think she was just my favorite model at the time. Plus, she had that life-size movie with Lindsay Lohan in it. So, anyways, we're talking about the movie or documentary. I love documentaries, so I might be a little bit biased about it, but like, I don't even know if I should do spoilers or not. But the whole movie is on YouTube, so watch it before they take it down. Like, they officially put it up, so it's not like a bootleg, but catch it while you can. So like it starts out like he's relaxing. Let me relax. Let me relax. So he's relaxing. He's in his upstate New York home, which I heard like he's having like ownership problems over it because like the people that he worked with and all that. I don't know, like they're having issues. But which served as a lesson for me, like no shade. Like when I get older, I need to have everything in order, because you would think like everything that he went through in life, like things would be more stable as an adult. So that confirmed that for me. But I feel like my head is so chunky right now. Anyways, so he's chilling on his porch. We see like the people cutting the trees down. And he's like, watch out, don't hit the shrub. And it just makes me think about when I'd be at work. I'm not that kind of manager all the time, but I am not an INTJ, but an ENTJ. So pretty much it's called like the commander, but I don't really like to boss people around. But like you want things in a certain way, and when I'm at home, I want things in a certain way. So that's a quality that I see in him that I really like. So Andre, he's watching the people cut down the trees and whatever. And then he talks about like coming from North Carolina, Durham, North Carolina. He talks about being around in segregation times, like Jim Crow era, and how like his mom was really judgmental of him, and he grew up with his grandma. And there's also what's it called? A double entendre. Like how it says the gospel according to Andre, right? But he talks about in fashion, it all started at the church. So he would notice like the big church hats that the ladies would have at church, and how everybody always wore their Sunday's best and stuff. So that really affected him growing up. And basically his grandma raised him. His dad really wasn't in the picture, but you saw his best friend growing up, and they'd hang out a lot. They remembered his dad always coming over to take them to baseball games and stuff. But ultimately, it was Andre's grandma that really affected him in life. And also a designer named is Diana Vreeland, who also reminded him of his grandma. So those two women, his grandmother and Diana Vreeland, really influenced him in his life. But this is before he gets to New York, because I think he went to college in New York, I believe. But what he liked was like I remember like being in middle school, like 6th grade, just before I moved down south. But it was in New York in my no bad cat. It was before I moved down south, and I would like go to the library, and I would open up. I forgot what this magazine was called, but I would just like, what is it? There's another magazine like Teen something, whatever. But I would just open up the magazines, and I would just like find myself lost in the colors and the designs and stuff. But ultimately, I wasn't really into fashion like that. Like, I kind of want to be now. Like, I see it from an artistic standpoint as well as like architecture and stuff. Like, the fact that you can bring art to life, and that makes me think about Lady Gaga a lot, who I love, and I need to watch that movie, House of Gucci. But let's continue. So, looking through those magazines in the 60s where with all this like racism and segregation going on, he found himself lost in these pages, and he became inspired, and that ultimately pushed him to going to New York. And I just found that fascinating, and the fact that he talked about you really need to go, like he needed to go follow his dreams. So he always felt like he needed to do more, and all the people in his life, please, all the people in his life said like he had something about him that people couldn't forget. Like, not just him being like, I believe he's like 6'6", so he's like this very tall black guy that they kept on saying in the documentary. He also, he just had, like, the way he carried himself, like, it was unforgettable. Even in the school play, there's, like, one of the plays they said he was perfect for. And, I think he played a count or something like that. So he's always very regal. Like, and he said something in the documentary saying, like, you don't have to be born an aristocrat to carry yourself like an aristocrat. Which I feel like, sir, come here. Which I feel like is a flaw. Like, that kind of hindered him in his life later on. Like, living beyond your means, like, that can really hurt you in the end. But yeah, so he decided to go to New York. Oh yeah, and he also learned French. So I found that really, really cool, and I just found it really fascinating. Like, this guy, he knew what he wanted to do, and he went out and got it. So I really respect him on that. Go get the treat, man. There you go. Jeez. So he went out and he got it. I had to give my cat a treat. So he met Miss Vreeland, who was like, I think, a director. I think I don't quote me, I think she went from like a W magazine to becoming one of the editors at Vogue. And like, he ended up meeting her, which was crazy. It's just like, he had the chance, like, he went to the Met, and then like he had like a assignment where he had to like reassemble an iconic outfit, and he did it. And she was really impressed about how he did it, because it was very elaborate what he had to do. Like, he had to use like, I think, tweezers or tongs to like recreate this outfit, and she was really impressed by it. So she's like, from now on you work with me. And I wish that could happen. Like, I wish like I could have a test like that, and the next thing I know, I passed the test. It was like an internship or something like that, and then like that person would take me under their wing to learn what I want to learn. So bilingual, had an eye for fashion, and eventually he ended up going overseas. Like, he went to France, he met all these designers. Yeah, And then like in the end, like it started playing, not playing, but like really emphasizing on the 2016 elections with Trump and Obama getting out of office, and how like you can tell that it kind of bothered him, but he didn't let it bother him. Like they were saying, like, what do you think about how Trump is dressed on Inauguration Day? He was like, I really don't care about that, but I think Melania is dressed beautiful. So he tried to keep it cute, but I like how he didn't let it bother him. And then there was a scene in there like where someone called him Queen Kong instead of King Kong, and they said that he slept around at Vogue and wherever he was at to get to the top, and that bothered him because he felt like, why couldn't he just be good at what he was without race being brought into it? Or like, you know, like he's coming from, like, remember, he's coming from segregated South, and he's branching off, and you know, he's international. But I really liked it. Like I was kind of in awe, especially like the years that he was working. I believe like the late 80s to like mid 90s ish at Vogue or whatever. But the things that he did, like I could see the vision. Like I loved it. I loved the documentary. Like what I wish more was that it was a little bit longer and more detailed. But other than that, it was really good. Like I don't think it could get even more detailed than that, but I do wish it was longer. And I hope things become better for him, because like I hear that he's having health problems and stuff, and he's not really the type to reach out for help. I don't think so. I guess we'll see, but definitely what I was thinking is like we need to give people their flowers while they're here, because he's definitely an icon. Like not even just like a black icon, but in fashion and art. And yeah, I really like that movie / documentary. So I don't know what else to say. I guess I'm going to do a different live. But I definitely recommend you watch this movie, and I'm gonna try to leave a link. Let me see if I can. I don't know if I could pin. I have trouble with this thing. But in the comments, I'm gonna leave the link to the documentary, so if you have time, you can watch, because it's really worth your time. I don't even know how I can find myself. But, oh yeah, and then I heard, like, he's kind of, like, he threw Anna Wintour under the bus, so they say. But I read that there was, like, a glass ceiling at Vogue. Like, he was paid a lot less than everybody else, and it was just weird. So I pinned the link on the bottom, so if you'd like to watch it, go ahead. And that's all. I'm out. Have a good one. Toodaloo.